Turn the page, light the spark. Magic lingers after dark. Plot twist, heartbreak, dragons too. Book club chaos coming through. Spoilers fly and curses sweep. Grab your favorite fantasy ship. Nikki and Justine are here. Your new book besties in your ear. Welcome to the Uncensored Authentic Book Club podcast, where the stories are magical and the opinions are unhinged.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Uncensored Authentic Book Club podcast. We are your hosts, Justine and
Nikki.
we're just two girls who love books and honestly love talking, especially about those books. So if you're someone who gets way too invested in fictional characters, strong opinions about plot twists, or just loves a good book chat, you are in the right place. We're so excited to book club with you today, but before we dive in, once again, a quick heads up. This is your official warning. There will be spoilers
100%.
and also some language.
Yes.
It is uncensored. So consider yourselves warned. We're going to dive into it. This is the second part of Assistant to the Villain.
Yep.
The first book in the Assistant to the Villain series by Hannah Nicole Maehrer. Did I say that right?
Fire?
Maehrer.
Mayor.
It's Hannah.
Hannah.
This is our second part.
First name basis.
me and Hannah, I go way back. This is the second part to this book. If you would love to see the first part, you can go back and watch that first. We discussed what happens in the first 30 chapters, and this is what happens in the last 30 chapters. We're going to pick up right after the villain catches the Guarv, Giver, the Guarv. We're saying the Guarv. Go ahead, Nikki, take it away.
The wyvern.
The wyvern thing.
The wyvern looking thing. Okay, so the villain caught the Guarv, the Griever, whatever we're calling it, right?
Mm-hmm.
He catches the male Guarv. Now that's important because there's a female that comes in later. Okay.
Yeah.
So he catches them. They lock him up in the basement, the dungeons, whatever. Keep him away from Fluffy, and they have him. We don't know why, but they have him. Okay. During this time, he also visits the villain, also visits Tati's quarters, right? Because she has her own quarters in this building, the healing quarters. And he's like, hey, Evie has this magical dagger that's linked to her back. It hurts her when it's close to her. I don't know what's going on with it. I need you to help, right? Mm-hmm. She's like, for her, of course, because they're tight. They're friends, right? They're besties. So she's like, 100%, I will absolutely do that. He's like, thank you. Which also ties into how much he cares about her. You know what I mean? Because he's like, I don't want this girl that I don't love
to be in pain.
That I don't love.
Sure, Tristan.
So she agrees, which is great. The male Guarv creates a storm. So these are magical fate creatures, right? So they have magical powers of their own, and he's creating a storm, which locks everybody in for the night. Now, I know what you're thinking. Justine. But no, it's normal. It's just normal, yeah. So Evie's like, all right, I'll go get the bedrolls from the basement. We're all just going to stay here for the night. Nothing happens, unfortunately. I was hoping for something.
I was so mad. I was like, Evie doesn't have a room here. Is she going to stay with the villain? Is she going to stay in the villain's bedroom? Is this going to happen? It doesn't happen. One bed? I love the one bed trope.
One bed? No, it does not happen, unfortunately. It's just a normal night, everything like that. The one thing you also have to know is that they are very vengeful creatures. So they captured the male Guarv, who has a mate, who is a female Guarv, and she's a very vengeful creature. So she is coming in looking for her mate. And that is what they want. They want the female one with the male one. They want both. Okay. If you can see what I'm saying with the mate, and they want male and female, they want a little baby. They want a little baby. Little baby. But Later. So everyone's captured in. She comes in. She's like angry, right? She's at Masquerade. She's like, where, she doesn't talk, but she's, where's my mate?
If Nikki was the female Gwarf, this is what she would say.
Yes. Where's my mate? I want him back. And she's like going to attack the villain, and Evie can see this, right? And she's like, oh my God, he's gonna die. So she goes and tries to distract the Gwarf. The Gwarf's like, oh, you want to play games? Let's go, little girl. Goes after her, and the villain's like, what the hell? I'm trying to
Why are you doing this?
Right. So then he goes after her. Anyway, they end up saving each other. They have a cute little banter moment about it. They capture the female Gwarf, and they put her and return her into the cage with the male Gwarf, and they're very happy.
That's all they wanted.
Yes,
that's literally all she
together.
wanted.
Yeah, they just wanted to be together. So they are fine. Afterwards, Evie did get a little hurt in the scuffle with the Gwarf, because, I mean, who's going to fight a Gwarf and win? Or a Givra win.
A Givra, yeah. I can't even tell you what I picture when we are saying the Gwarf. It doesn't look like a wyvern. It doesn't look like a dragon. I don't know what it looks like.
To me, it was like a multicolored worm that could fly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's really like a worm, but it
I feel like she should have put a picture of what the Gwarf was meant to look like in here, because my mind just runs wild every time they say it. It's like, do you remember Dragon Tales?
Yes.
It's like a mix between It's like a mix between one of those crazy looking dragons and like a worm, but a giant,
big,
a worm snake thing. And it's like a snake with wings in my head. It's just strange looking, but
yes,
continue.
it is very, like I think they're like the Chinese dragon. Not like a normal dragon, maybe
more like that, more like a Chinese dragon than like more than a Chinese dragon versus a fantasy like fourth wing dragon.
Yes,
is what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay. Glad we're on the same page with that.
Yeah,
I had no idea. So Evie obviously gets hurt, so she has to go to Tati's, her bestie, and they have a really sweet moment together. They're talking about her childhood, and Evie's like, oh, like you knew the boss when you were a child. He was a child? Like it's hard to picture him as a child and not just like this 4-year-old man, basically. He's not.
He's not 40.
He's not 40. He's 29, guys. But like, as the villain. And she tells him that he one time when Tati was 10, it was her 10th birthday, he baked her a cake. The villain baked her a cake for her birthday. And he used to bake and cook with Edwin all the time. And I'm like, what a sweet little side you see to him. Like, he really was just a child. And this is where I get into, like, villains are not, like, born, they're made. And I think this part really shows that, because he was just a child.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's why I love villains. They don't come out like that. No. Something happened that made them act the way they're acting.
Yes, 100%. So she's having that sweet moment with Tati. They part ways. She's like all healed. She's good to go. Whatever. She goes back to the office. She's doing her job. And she notices that a map of the Valiant Guard's roots is missing. And now we're getting into, was it the traitor? Right? So we're getting back to the plot of this traitor. Obviously, they're 10 steps ahead of them somehow, always doing something. And they're like, I don't, what's going on with it. So her and Tristan decides to take her home that night because of everything that happened with the Givra, the Gwarf, whatever, the worm, the worm, the flying worm. And he's taking her home, and on their way, they're like sitting there kind of in silence, whatever. And Evie's just looking around, and she sees a mask, a Valiant Guard mask running through the forest. And she's like, no, not on my watch. She jumps off the carriage, goes after him.
like you're gonna go fight this Valiant. Okay, go ahead, girl, go off.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, so he like stops the horse or whatever, ties it up, and while he's doing that, she confronts this person. They like scruffle to the ground, and it's Becky. And at first I was like, I told you it's Becky. Becky's the traitor. No.
It's not Becky. It's not Becky.
So apparently Becky, yes, did steal the maps of the Valiant Guards. Becky also had the mask from the Valiant Guards from one of the other instances of the parapet and stuff. She took both. She was trying to personate a Valiant Guard, go on their routes, go to the Gleaming Palace, because she thinks that King Benedict has a cure-all for the mystic illness. This is where we learned that Becky has a grandma that also has the mystic illness. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not entirely sure what this illness is. Like, it's
It's ju-
obviously
it's-
more than a
It's
cold.
mystic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more than like a common cold. So I don't think people can like give it to each other, but it's, I guess, not great and maybe fatal.
Because like Evie doesn't have it, Lissa
Right.
doesn't have it, and like they take care of their dad. And
Right.
like I remember from the first part of the book, like her dad has good days and bad days.
Yes.
I feel like it's more of a like a almost like MS, almost like you have bad flare-ups, you have good days, you have bad days, you have days where you can't really get out of bed because your whole body is in pain or whatever, and then you have days where you can move around and you can do a little bit more.
Right.
That's just in my head what it's like. I know that there's like a cough and stuff that comes with it, but like that's just my thought. Like I feel like it just
It might combine a few
slowly
things together.
it probably does. It probably does. But it's not like they're on their deathbed type 24/7 type illness.
Right. It's probably more like a chronic illness versus like,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
you catch like a common cold or like pneumonia, whatever.
Right.
But still, people have it. It's not good, and they need a cure for it. And there is no cure, but they think King Benedict does have one. So Becky, we find out Becky has a grandma. Obviously, Evie still has her dad who has the mystic illness. So they kind of reluctantly have this little bond.
A little
And
bond.
they both
Friendship
think
bond.
they both don't like that they have this little bond, which I
Yeah.
think is funny. They don't like having that in common with each other.
No.
And the villain catches up and he's like, yeah, I kind of knew Becky stole it. Like, I knew she was going to try to do something stupid with it. He's like, listen, if there is a cure, I will find it and I will give it to both of you. Like, it's not like a,
Isn't
thing.
that just so sweet? I
Yes.
think that he's just so sweet.
He is. He's like a little cupcake. Like, he's just a little cupcake that someone decorated with black icing. Like,
honestly, because like, and he doesn't even feel for Becky what he feels for Evie, but it's very clear that he cares for Becky.
yes. Him and, like, I think he cares. Like, they're his friends. He doesn't like to, I think, admit that he has friends.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he doesn't like to trust people and stuff, but they are his friends, and he very much cares for his friends.
Absolutely.
Like Tati, Blade, Claire, Becky. He cares about his employees and his friends for sure.
Absolutely.
So they stop her plans. He's like, okay, Becky, Evie, back on the carriage. We're gonna take Evie home, and then I'll take Becky home. Whatever. So that's great. All things are done. She doesn't go and do all that. With that coming up, while she is in her house, she finds that there is a letter.
And we're getting into Justine's favorite part.
There is a mysterious letter, and it's from the core healer inviting her to a party for the mystic illness cure.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, hold on, red flags. First of all, how did this get into my house? Second of all, who, what, when, where, how, right?
Who's the core healer? Why am I going to this party? Like, yeah.
Right. So basically on it literally just said, hey, I heard you're looking for the cure. Wear something for a party night. Come to this place at this time. And she's like, all right, this is obviously a setup. I should tell the boss, but I'm going to go first. And then I can tell the boss everything.
But hear me out.
Hear me
I'm
out.
not going to tell him. I'm just going to go.
Right. So she has a dress that she loves that she bought one day for herself. It's like the only thing that she has that she bought for herself. And it's, of course, very colorful because that's who Evie is. So she goes ahead. She gets all glamored up. She turns up to this event. And lo and behold, who else is there? Blade and Becky.
Becky.
'Cause they also got a letter. And the funny thing about this is Becky got the same letter, okay?
Yeah,
So
about the cure.
hey, we're looking for the cure, show up, time and place, right? Blaze is like, here's a party. Show up at this time and place.
Get it. And Blade's like, say less.
Right, and Evie's like,
be
why
there.
are you here? And he's like, I heard there was gonna be food and drinks.
Because they told me to come. I don't know what you're
They're all
asking.
talking about, like, they all know it's a trap, right? And they're
Yeah.
all like, we all know this is a trap, you know, like we're walking into this, like, what are we gonna do? And they all decide, okay, like we'll go in together,
Right.
we'll figure this whole out, and then we'll go get the boss and let him know and tell him
Let
everything.
him know.
Right.
After.
So they're gonna do
Right.
like some snooping on the side because they're like, maybe they don't suspect us, you know? So they're gonna
Sure.
investigate this obvious trap and then go tell the boss. Well, so they think. Because Blade and Becky like immediately get sidetracked.
Uh-huh.
Like there's this guy, he's like talking to Becky, and then of course Blade's getting jealous. Just saying.
We got another little
Interrupt, and Becky's like, what are you doing? And they're doing their own little thing. They're sidetracked. Evie's like, what the hell? I guess it's just me. So Evie's going, and she goes up to the core healer. Okay.
Uh-huh.
She's like, I'm Evie.
Hi.
What's going on? And he's like, hi, I'm Arthur. Tristan's dad is the core
healer. Yep.
Okay. So
Yep.
Tristan's dad is the core healer. And Evie's like, you sent me this letter. And he's like, you sent me a letter. I'm
Did
here.
not send a letter. Yeah,
And I
exactly.
thought this would be a good place to meet. And she's like, I didn't send you a letter. And he's like, I didn't send you a letter. And so we're like, who sent these letters?
Who sent the letter?
Who sent the letters? What's about to happen if Tristan's dad really didn't set this up? Right?
Mhm.
Like, if this is not the core healer's plan. And she's like questioning if he knows who the villain is, like, if he knows that his son is the villain. So she's like, do you know what he does for a living? And he's like, yeah, I know he's the villain.
Author's like, yeah, I do.
I know my
I do know. Mhm.
I know my son. and it's just funny because as she's talking to him, guess who also shows up?
Guess who comes? The villain.
The villain. So
I love it.
let's set up the scene, right? So we're at this, and it's a party. It's like an outdoor party. Okay?
It's like a fair. Like I'm thinking like a Renaissance festival.
There's drinks, there's foods, there's people
Yeah.
dancing and talking, like there's music, like it's a whole big ordeal. His dad apparently does this. He creates these events.
Mhm.
He heals some
Okay.
people, like, you know, anything like that. So he shows up and he is furious, right?
So mad.
He is so mad. He's like, what the fuck? Right?
Yeah.
So he clearly knows she clearly knows it's also a trap. He hasn't spoken to his father in years. Right. And he's like, I don't know if it's my father. I don't know if it's somebody else. I just know this isn't right. I'm pissed. Grabs Evie and takes her away. Okay?
Yes, he does.
Well,
Across a little
she
bridge.
has to run away from him across the
Yeah.
bridge. And then he follows her and then he grabs her and takes her away. Right.
Yeah.
Now, this whole time she's thinking he's mad at her.
Mhm.
Right. And she's like trying to explain, like, listen, like, I was going to come and tell you, like, I just wanted to come here and get the information. And then I was going to come tell you back
I just
to
needed to scope it out. I just needed to look first.
Right. And he's like, I'm not mad at you. And she's like, what? Like, she's like disarmed. She's like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Right. So they're like sitting on this little ledge as they're kind of like talking this out. And it's so funny because all of a sudden he like pops up and he goes and like gives her his hand. And she's like,
Yeah.
Can I help you? And he's
What
like,
are
do
we
you hold
doing?
hands? And she's like, okay. So then they start dancing together.
So
We've put two awkward babies in a room together. This is what's happening. Do you know what I mean?
But here's the thing. They're like, so the party's happening over here, right? Festival's going on. There's a little bridge. This is in my head. This is what I'm picturing. There's a little bridge. And then they're over here, just like the forest is over here. There's like a little waterfall behind them in my head. And they're just over here in this little clearing, just the two of them dancing together when everything is going on over here. It doesn't matter because they're just over here in their own little world. I just think it's the cutest thing.
Oh, 100%.
I love
And
it so much.
Especially because like he's like struggling to keep his hands off her. He's struggling to because he's like, this girl is in this beautiful dress. She looks so amazing. Her hair's all done up with these beautiful clips. The moonlight's striking her in such a way that like the dress looks like a rainbow of color, you know? And it's like, it's just one of those things where he is like, shit.
In love with her.
In love with her. This is where he admits to himself, basically, I am in love with Evie Sage.
Yeah.
But he will not do anything about it. He will not try and pursue her because he wants to protect her because he is the villain. Villains don't live long. He's bad. She's good. He's going to hurt her in some way, whatever.
She won't have a good life with him. All the stuff that these people tell themselves when in reality, if they just let themselves love, it would be so much easier for everybody involved.
But I will say this is where my second favorite quote comes in from this book.
Okay.
And it's like part of the villain's monologue and what he thinks about Evie.
Okay.
And it says, she wasn't light. She was color. Is there, like, everyone's like, oh, she's the light of my life and like all this. And it's just, she was color.
She was
like,
color.
His world was black and gray, basically, before her. And now it's full of color. And I thought that was just probably the sweetest thing in the entire world.
I love him.
No, so cute. So they're having their own little moment, and I'm like, they're gonna kiss. This is where they kiss.
Right? I know. I was like, it's happening. It's gonna happen right here, right now.
It's go time, right? It's gonna kiss. All of a sudden,
doesn't happen.
This horrible scream, right? What do you think it is? It is the male Guarv. Whatever. He somehow got out of his cage. He's out for revenge. He's killing people. I mean, there are body parts. There are melted flesh. There's like, it's gross, right?
Yep.
And Evie and Tristan, they're like, oh my God, like, we got to go find our other friends and we got to get out of here. We got to get the Guarv back, whatever. So they're like, okay. So they're like on their way. They're trying to find him. He's like, stay here, stay put. I saw my sister here. I'm going to go get her because I got to make sure she's okay. Right. So like, they're not friends, him and his sister. They're estranged, but they still care for each other. So he's like, I saw my sister. And she's like, okay, I'm going to stay here. And then with Becky and Blade. And then they see someone across the clearing and they're like, we got to go help them. They go over. It turns out to be Arthur, which is Kristen's dad. So they're like, oh shit. Okay. We're going to be okay. Blade's like, we got to capture this thing, you know, we gotta do something. And this is where they're like, okay, like, he's like, okay, I'll try to come up with a plan to recapture this Guarv. And, you know, and Claire's back and she's like, hey, I'll help you. You know, I can imbue some of these plants around me to be a sedative or whatever. We'll capture it, sedate it, and we'll bring it back. They go off and do their thing. Great. As they're trying to do that, as, you know, recapturing the Guarv, everything's still going crazy because it's crazy, wreaking havoc. Valiant guards show up.
Of course they do, because why not add one more piece to that puzzle?
Tristan's like, he hears Evie scream. He goes to turn, right? Boom, knocked out.
Over the head.
Unconscious, right?
Yep.
The Valiant guards, they decide to collect everybody. And I'm not entirely sure why they do this, to be honest with you. But they decided to collect everybody in like a clearing area.
Yeah. I'm like, I picture them all on like picnic blankets, like just like a bunch of people just sitting in little groups.
But
and
like,
I
the
don't know.
Guarv is still out there killing.
It's still, yeah.
So like, I don't understand that part, but that's okay. So
yeah.
They're in like this little area. We'll call it an area. And they take them all there. The villain's unconscious. Evie comes up with a plan to get them out, right?
My favorite.
Nobody knows what the villain looks like. So they don't know that they've caught the villain.
Correct.
But she's like, if he wakes up and he starts murdering people, they're obviously going to know who he is. Like, we got to go. Like, we got to get out of here. Okay. So, and this is probably the funniest part. And
I love this. This is one of my favorite parts. First, the separate dance, swoon. I absolutely love that. But this part
is probably the funniest thing in the world.
I love it.
Because part of it, like, it's true. Men are crazy.
Yeah.
So she's going up to this guard and she's like crying hysterically.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my gosh, like, you have to let us go. My husband's unconscious and we came to the core healer because we're having fertility problems. And we're trying to like conceive and, you know, all this other stuff. And he's like, I'm really sorry.
Like sharing all this information
to make him uncomfortable with the tears in the conversation. And it's the best because then she also goes on to saying, like, she's like, I'm on my cycle and I'm wearing white and I don't have anything with me.
I love Evie for this.
That it like starts to work.
Oh,
The guards. These guards are panicking.
These guards are like, right, okay. And
they're like, we're here to help, because they think they're there to help, right? So like,
right,
we're here to help you guys. Like, we're just trying to keep you guys like away from the wharf. Like, you know, we're just here to help you. We heard the villain was here. We're just trying to find him, whatever. And she's like doing this, and the guards are like, okay, like, you know, we'll let you guys go. You know, whatever, what have you. And then the villain starts waking up.
He starts waking up.
And the way it is like him just lying there, opening his eyes, blinking, and then just like sitting straight up and being like,
where am I?
So he starts waking up, and to help evade him killing all the guards that have them captured, right? And to evade him revealing that he is the villain.
Who he is,
right? She leaps at him, because this is who Evie is, and kisses him. We have our first kiss, people. We have our first kiss.
I love it.
I feel it doesn't quite matter because it's not real.
But it still happens. And but no, we have to talk about Tristan's POV.
You're right. So with this kiss, she's kissing him, you know, so he doesn't reveal to the guards, and so that they can escape, essentially. And she's doing it strictly because she's trying to do the escape plan. Of course, she's enjoying herself and loving it. And he's singing along. He's kissing her back. He's saying sweet little nothings, right? Because in his POV, he thinks he's dreaming. And he says, fuck it. If this is a dream, I'm going to kiss this beautiful woman that I love and have fun with it and enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
You know? And
I love that, because
I love it.
It's so cute.
But it's not real. I mean, it's real in the sense that it actually happens.
But it is. But it actually
likes him, and he likes him, and they admit it, and they kiss.
I get that. I get that. But I still get the chilly willies when I read it.
I mean, same. And I also love when she's like, she like steps back and tries to tell him what's going on or something. She's like, Tristan, and he's like, yes, my love.
Yes.
And then she's like, oh, so you heard my plan about you being married to me. That's why you're
saying that. Yeah. Which this is the part.
Another little miscommunication.
Where I'm like, Evie, no.
Yeah. 100%.
He's saying this because he's in love with you. And I think that's my biggest problem with this book, is the fact that, and I love it, but I hate a miscommunication trope. And like, clearly they think that they're both on different sides of things, like the different feelings. If they would just talk to each other.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel this way. Or like, oh, is he flirting with me? Obviously, Evie, he's obviously flirting with you.
To that point, though, I will say it is hard to be vulnerable and tell people that you like them. Like in real life. Do you know what I mean?
I get that. But this man has never smiled a day in his life before Evie comes into the office. So why doesn't anybody say, I think that he might have a thing for you?
Right.
Why ain't no one say that?
He does suspect that she has a thing for him.
I mean, obviously, she has a very bad.
He's like, I'm cutting it down though. Like, remember, because he's like, he doesn't want to hurt her. He's the villain, so he doesn't want to admit it.
Look how happy he would be if he would just let it happen.
He's the villain. It's bad.
But it's infuriating.
What I love the most, though, is like after this all happens, he gets up and he's like, what the hell? She's like, I got it. We're good. Like, we can go.
Don't you worry, honey buns.
You got it, babe. Handle it, as a woman does. And
does in every relationship.
Really. And so that all happened. And then the guards are like, hey, like, we're sorry, you know, we hit you in the head or whatever. Let's take you to the healer so you can be healed.
Yeah.
And then Becky, Arthur get separated. they go to another healer with other guards. So it's Evie and Tristan with some guards going to one healer, and then Becky and Arthur going to another healer because Arthur's also injured. And during this, obviously something's up, right?
Something's happening.
Like,
this
first
is
of all, the way they separated them, I was like,
you get vibes right away that like something's wrong.
No,
something's going on.
Yeah, no, thank you. So they start to go, and with Becky, or not Becky, sorry, they start to go with Evie and the villain. They're walking through, and then all of a sudden they know something's up, and they're like, this isn't happening. They start getting into a physical altercation. The one guy is like, oh, like, I'm gonna have fun with Evie, and that's when the villain, insane,
loses it. Yep.
Loses it. He kills all three of them right in front of them. Right
in front of them. Yeah,
right in front of her. She's covered in some blood because of the whole ordeal. And he's like, oh shit, I probably just scared the shit out of her. I just killed all these people in front of her. She's gonna hate me, all this other stuff. And all she goes is, ew. And that's it. She hugs him and thanks him for not letting them take her. And he's like, I've never been hugged before. Like, but he allows her to hug him.
Oh,
He loves her.
He loves her.
And he knows it true as day at this point. Okay. And he's like, this is my girl, but it's fine. I can't do anything about it. Right. So they're walking back. They're looking for Becky and Arthur now. Right. And then Arthur's guards think that Arthur is the villain.
Yes.
They think that Arthur's a villain. So that's why they separated them and took them. They're like, hey, we were just going to protect you from the villain. And the villain's like, oh, believe me, you didn't. I caught you.
Trust me, honey.
But they think Arthur is the villain. So they put Arthur and Becky on horses. They're going back to the Gleaming Palace. I guess because of the Guarv and the chaotic behavior, Becky gets thrown off this horse. Yeah. Because it was slowing the horse down. And I was like, what? Thrown off a horse?
I forgot that even happened.
Yeah. Because they run into Becky and she looks all disheveled and they're like, what happened? And
they're like, what happened?
Oh, yeah. And she like, threw me off. And she was like, what? I was so surprised. I was like, oh,
I was shocked.
I don't like you, Becky, but I'm sorry for you.
But like, that sucks, dude. Like, they just left you behind.
To be eaten by the Guarv? Okay.
Literally.
I was like, okay. So they're like, okay, so they get Becky back, and then Blade and Claire come out, and they're like, hey, we did it. We were able to sedate the Guarv. We got him back. We're going to take him back to the manor. So villain's like, all right, like, everybody, let's go home. Let's go back to the manor. Like, we're done for the night, whatever. And Evie's like, sir, that's great. You guys go back to the manor. I have to go home. I'm tired. It's been a long day, been a long week. I'm bone dead tired. I need a day. I'm going back. So he's like, okay, go ahead home. Be careful.
Okay, here's my thing.
What?
Why didn't he go with her? No one escorted Evie back home. He's taken her home twice now.
I know.
Under less
But I think because he had to take the Guarv home.
Blade and Claire could have taken the Guarv
home.
Becky. And Becky could have taken the Guarv home. Tristan, okay, if they were concerned about splitting up, Blade and Claire could have taken the Guarv home, and Becky and Tristan could have taken Evie home, and then Tristan and Becky could have gone back to Massacre Manor.
Yeah, but you have to remember, Tristan's trying to stay away from her now.
I understand that, but
because he doesn't want to love her. I mean, because he does love her, but he doesn't want to.
But they just went through this whole thing.
Oh, I thought it was I didn't take her.
Lets her just go home by herself.
Be careful. She hops up onto this horse, and he's like, "Hey, like,
be careful.
Be careful." And she's like, "Okay." I don't know. I didn't write it. Blame Hannah.
Hannah, we need to have a conversation.
We need to have a conversation with Hannah with the way she ends her books on cliffhangers. That's the first thing we need to talk about.
I don't want to talk to her about that because I'll be upset. Hannah, I love you and I love your book and I think you're a genius. But the way that you end these books, you kill me.
Every time.
That's my PSA to Hannah.
PSA to Hannah. All right. So villain doesn't walk her home, but she goes home. She's dead tired. She sleeps in her dress. Lissa's like, why is there blood all over you? And she's like, crap. But she makes up some excuse, kind of like, oh, like, it's fine. No one that you knew got hurt. It's fine. And Lissa's like, all right. Like, she trusts her. You know what I mean? Because that's her older sister, basically.
Lissa's so chill about a lot of things.
She is. It's the best, honestly. And she loves Evie. Like, Evie is the one that raised her, all of that. So, like, she and her and Evie are very close, which is nice.
Yep.
Next day happens. She has to go back to the manor, go back to work, right?
Yep.
And she goes to Tati's, and Claire and Tatiana are there.
Mm-hmm.
And they think together that they can figure out this whole magical dagger thing. This is probably your second favorite scene.
This is one of my favorite. I completely forgot about this part until right now.
So at the manor, they decide to basically do exposure therapy with Evie and this dagger.
Yeah, which I get this has to happen, but
every time the dagger gets closer, she screams. But their theory is that if she can conquer the pain of the dagger, she can then control the dagger, and it won't have that magic, painful link to her. So Evie's aware of this. Evie's cool with it. She's like, all right, let's do it. Let's go, right? But of course, because it pains her, she's screaming like she's being tortured. Yeah, right? And what do we think happens when a certain someone hears Evie
screaming? Because he knows her voice, and he knows her screams.
Yes. He goes nuts.
Not so crazy.
Nuts. Okay, so he's hearing these screams. He goes to Tatiana's corners. He's banging on the door to the point where it's splintering. He rips the door off of its
hinges
to get to her. Okay, he's like, stop it, and he like goes into her and he like holds her and he's like, what the hell is happening? Like, stay away from her. And like, he has his magic out, like everyone can feel it. Like, he's about to strike down his sister Claire and his friend Tati.
Literally, he's about to level Tati.
And he has no idea what's going on, but he's like, I'm gonna let them explain, because he learned from the first time of not letting Evie explain.
Yeah.
Right? So he's like, I'm gonna let them explain before I kill them. But he was ready. He was ready to stand on guard, right? So they tell him, like, hey, we have to expose her to it, allow her to build it up so that she no longer is affected by it. Right.
Yep.
And he's like, so you're okay with this? And she's like, yeah. Evie's like, yeah, it sucks, but like,
you gotta do
what I gotta do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, well, you're done for the day. And she's like, no, we're not. And he's like, doesn't want to tell her what to do, so he reluctantly allows them to continue to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I say reluctantly because he did not want to.
But he didn't want to
tell her what to do.
Which is also sweet.
I know. I thought it was adorable. During this time, though, that she's basically doing this exposure therapy, Claire, I mean, that's what it is.
It's what it is.
If it's a cat, it's a cat, you know?
It is.
During this time, Claire informs Evie about blue ink abilities. So if you remember, the guy that bought the blue ink off of Claire had blue ink on his hands, but the clock
on his hands.
Yeah. Malcolm is our trader guy. So she's like, oh yeah, blue ink abilities are being that it can read what others have written.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So if you write down, I love the villain,
and
they use the blue ink, no matter when you wrote it down, they'll have those words saying, I love the villain. So they'll know exactly what you've written down. Okay. Now, she says, yeah, some older guy came in, you know, I know it's not his real name, but he's so sweet. He bought the ink, whatever. And he goes, yeah, his name, it was last bought by an East Marigold. Now, I thought nothing of this at first until the next sentence, basically, where Evie's like frozen in place. She stiffens.
Yep.
She's like, okay, well, I gotta go now. She's suspicious of something.
I was like,
so Tati gives her the little I don't want to say cure, but like a little pain
meds.
Pain medicine for her father that she's been giving him. So she's like, hey, I came up with a new batch. Here you go. So she takes that and she takes something else. We're not told what else she takes.
Not sure what it is.
But she takes something else as she leaves the healer's room. So now I'm suspicious. So I'm like, okay, she knows who this East Marigold is, right? She knows something. Something's about to go down. Okay. So I'm like, I don't understand. But she's like, okay, well, I'm going to go now. I'm going to go home. And we're like, okay, goodbye, Evie.
Bye.
So Evie's back at home. She starts talking to her dad. She's like, hey, Dad, here's your, you know, your cure or whatever. And he's like, oh, I'm having a good day, whatever, what have you. And she's like, good, I'm glad. And she's looking around. She goes into his office and she starts kind of snooping around. And I'm like, why is she in his office? Like, she was never allowed in there when she was a kid. And you're like, okay, that's kind of weird. But like adults, kids, whatever, you want to keep some things to yourselves. And she finds a letter on the desk written from her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, please let me see them. Love, Nora Sage. Okay. To Evie's knowledge, Nora left. Like she didn't pack up her stuff and leave them. She just like disappeared from them.
Yeah.
Entirely.
Literally, yeah.
After the whole accident. So the accident happened as Nora Sage has magical abilities.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the field, her sister Lissa, Evie, her brother, and then Nora.
Mm-hmm.
Something had happened. Nora's magic awoken. It came out in starlight, blasted Gideon, her brother,
who died.
Yeah. Nora disappeared. Evie
Weird.
was left to raise Lissa and take care of her father, right?
Yeah.
So she finds this letter from Nora, and she's like, what the hell is this?
Mm-hmm.
And we're all like, what the hell
is this?
Right? So she's like, what is happening? Right?
Yeah.
So in also his room, she finds a pot of red and blue ink.
Uh-huh.
And now Evie's been using purple ink, writing down her notes given to her by her father this whole time for her new job.
Mm-hmm.
So really, she's been using blue ink this whole time. The whole time. So as she's snooping and finding these things out about her, right? She finds we also find out that Evie's gold band at this point is a marking of so that Tristan can know when she is in trouble.
Yeah. So that he can know that she's okay.
Yes. Because while Evie is kind of figuring this stuff all out on her own at home, Tati comes in to talk to the villain at the manor. And she brings up, like, you should tell her about the gold band, you know, how it's permanent, and you didn't tell her, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, I know when she's in trouble, I'll always be there for her. And they figure out that East Marigold is Evie's dad.
How did they link that?
So they linked it with, let me see here. So they linked it through the ink, I think. How she's been using new ink for certain amount of times. How the villain always knows exactly what, or not the villain, how the villain in our story.
Well, the villain in our story, yeah. The traitor.
Yeah, the traitor knows the story through, or knows what's happening through all of Evie's notes because she takes that notebook home. Time. And they went to her desk and they said, oh my gosh, she has purple ink. And Claire's like, nope, that's blue ink. She's been using blue ink this whole time, meaning anybody can read what she's written. And they're like, no.
No, God.
So they're like, okay, well, we gotta go. So East Marigold is Griffin Sage, Evie's dad.
Evie's dad. I did not see that coming.
I didn't see this coming. And I still didn't believe it at first because he has the mystic illness. Like right?
He's sick.
So Evie's confronting her dad about the blue ink, the letters, and it's getting chaotic and the truth is revealed. Okay. So like they're screaming at each other. You know, he is apparently working for the king undercover. He has been this whole time. He uses the ink to spy on her.
Yep.
That isn't the first letter from their mother.
Mm-mm.
He tried to sell her company to Mr. Warson, which is Otto.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was never sick.
Never sick.
Ever.
That motherfucker.
I know. Okay, first of all, I was like, okay, there's a lot to process here, right? So, like, obviously, King Benedict thing is bad. Obviously, pretending to, I mean, Evie took on the responsibility of being a parent to Lissa, getting a job, all of this stuff because you couldn't provide for your family. And he was like casual. He was like, oh, well, we were never really in trouble. I was getting paid. You just didn't know. And she's like, the fuck? And then to sell her company and basically try to sell her to Otto so that he didn't have to like worry about her anymore and all this stuff. I was like, who is this? Do you know what I mean? I was pissed.
I was pissed. I was instantly
so pissed.
shocked and angry. I was like, I hate this man. I hope
Oh,
the villain tears him apart in a
same.
million
I
pieces.
honestly, I was like, Evie, you better get a dagger or something, a letter opener. I don't care, and start stabbing.
Get him now. Unalive him now.
Right. But she also wanted to have all this conversation to make sure it was the truth. But she
Yeah.
also has to take into consideration Lissa, right? Because Lissa's in the next room.
Yeah.
You know, and that's her little sister. She doesn't want to traumatize her little sister, right? So they're having this conversation. The truth is revealed. And Evie's like, this is the part I also love. Evie's like, yeah, I know. I've known since I heard the name East Marigold, who was a superhero character in the stories you used to tell me as a child that used to like fight monsters underneath my bed. So she's like, I knew since then. I just had to make sure. And he's like, why do I feel weird? And she's like, oh, you know those meds I gave you earlier for your mystic illness? Yeah, actually, that was a sedative.
Sorry. I drugged you.
I just didn't know how long it was going to take to kick in. And I was like, Evie in her villain era.
I love it.
Like,
I
it
love
was just so smart.
It,
You know what I mean?
I would have not thought about it. I would have never
God.
thought to do it.
And no, never. I would have confronted them and I'd be like, I don't know what to do from here. So he's like passed out, and Evie is unfortunately now spiraling, right? Because all of this information.
Right. Yeah.
The villain arrives. He walks in. Lissa's crying in the hallway, and he's like, what's wrong? And she's like, I think my dad's hurting my sister, which was so sad. And he's like, okay, it's gonna be all right. I'm here. Like, Tatiana's gonna take you back to the manor. I'm gonna go get your sister. And so for some reason, the little girl listens. She's like, no.
Alyssa's like, sure, that makes sense.
Yeah. So she goes with Tatiana back to the manor. Villain comes in. He sees passed out Griffin, Sage's dad, on the floor. Yeah. He's Evie like crying basically. And he's like, what the hell happened? Right. So he's like, okay, I don't know what to do. And she's like, I need a drink. So she gets up. She goes to the kitchen. She's pouring herself, like she's drinking out of the bottle, right? Out of wine bottle.
I mean, I get it.
He's like, I can't kill him, but I got to capture him. So he calls the guards in. They take him. They capture him. He's now a prisoner. Okay. So it's just the villain and Evie at her house. And she's spiraling within her and stewing in her own feelings. Everything about her mom, everything about her dad, her childhood, her brother, how she had to be the nice person, how she had to support her little sister and herself, and like all of this stuff.
All of this trauma. Yep.
All of it. And so she's drinking at this time, right? So she's just saying everything, and she gives the villain the proof of everything, and she tells him everything. And she said, I didn't know until I heard it at Tati's place in East Marigold. I came here to make sure, but here's all the proof, the letters, everything to King Benedict, all of this stuff, right? This is also where we find out about Tristan's backstory and him and why they want the Guarv to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay? So Tristan's like kind of uncomfortable because she's spiraling. He doesn't really know how to like comfort her. So he's like also trying to offer her up to comfort her, like some information and stuff. So telling him his backstory, how he used to work for the king. He was noticed by I guess like a magic seer, where they could tell like if you have magic in you, even if it hasn't awoken yet, and how it could be powerful and stuff. So he was underneath King Benedict, and, for about a month, he was doing all this stuff for him. He was so excited. He was like, oh my gosh, I'm chosen. I'm going to be this person. This is going to be great. But he was like, all these people tend to flinch away from me though. Like, what's up with that? And King Benedict was like, your magic is bad. You have death magic. And he's like, but it hasn't even awoken yet. Like, I can change. I can try different things. We can train. Like, he was really willing to put in the effort to be something.
He didn't want to be bad. He didn't want to be a villain.
And this is where the villain is created, I think. Because he does have dangerous magic, but they locked him up in a cell with no windows, no light. So that's why he's afraid of the dark. His magic awakes, and he was there for a month.
Yeah.
Himself. His magic awakes. He's able to see everybody. He kills them all and escapes. And I'm like, good. But that is when he becomes the villain.
The villain.
Because he was put up on a pedestal for how powerful his magic was and how great it was going to be. And then all of a sudden they were like, nope, you're too dangerous. And instead of giving him a chance, they just like locked him up. They threw him away. Right?
Yep.
So he also tells him why the king wants the Guarv. Okay, so he wants the water because they want him to have a baby. Apparently, the venom in the baby can be a cure-all for the mystic illness.
Mystic illness.
As of now, King Benedict wants it so that he can create it to be the best king in the world and be like, ha, I cured all your illnesses for it, right?
Yeah.
Evie is just so overcome with everything that's happened, and she asks the villain for a hug, right? Because she's having her roller coaster moments at this point.
Yeah. No.
I mean, she's like crying, and then she's like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to you. And then she's like, and what about my dad? And like, she's everywhere at this point, right? So she asks the villain for a hug. He obliges. And he's like, I don't really know how to do that. And she's like, just put your arms around me. And they kind of like melt into each other. And then they're so close. And they pull
so
apart.
sweet.
And you think we're going to get a real kiss this time. But guess what happens? Ribbit.
It's always something.
Kingsley
Yeah.
jumps up, scares them, okay? And he interrupts their kiss.
Yeah.
So they do not kiss. And from then on, he's like, I'm not getting near Sage. Like, I'm not doing it. I can't almost kiss her. Like, I can't get near her. No. So he's like, hey, why don't you go pack? We'll go to the manor, get you guys settled in, right? So she's like, cool. So she goes upstairs, she packs, whatever. And they're on their way to the manor. When they get to the manor, she's like, oh, crap. I forgot something. And he's like, what did you forget? And she's like, my notebook. And he's like, I'll get you a new notebook. And she's like, no, it has sentimental values. And the sentimental value meaning little doodles that she's drawn of him in it. And like, hearts and stuff like that. So he's like, all right, fine. We can go back and get it. So they drop their stuff off at the manor because that's where they are already. And they're like, let's go take a walk. It's a nice day. So they're going to walk back to her house to go get it. Well, you think it'd be a nice little walk in the park. But guess what? They're attacked by Valiant guards and the king himself.
Yep.
Okay. So they roll up. They throw Tristan in chains so fast. They take him down, throw him in chains so fast. They got Evie, like in a headlock, whatever. They got her tied up. She can't move or do anything. She's crying out to him. Tristan is begging on his knees.
I just got chills.
For them to let Evie go. He literally says, please, I'm begging you, King Benedict. I'm begging you, let her go. And he said, you know what? I was going to let you watch them kill her, but I'll be nice and I won't. Sedates him. Yes. Throw him back into the cart and he's off on his way somewhere. Probably to the Gleaming Palace. So now Evie's left there alone. Okay? And guess who decides to pop out of the woods? Otto. The ex-employer.
The motherfucker. I hate this dude.
He does not go away.
No, he keeps coming back.
So apparently the chains that they put in or on the villain are magical chains, so we couldn't use his magic. They were made by Otto, right?
Oh,
so
of course.
Of course. So Otto's coming back, okay? And she's there with Otto and two other guards. And Otto's like, I'm going to have fun killing you, bitch. And she's like, you thought because when you guys knocked me over, my bag spilled out. And what spilled out of the bag was the dagger. The same magical dagger that's, linked to her back. Well, guess what? She grabs the dagger and slits his throat. And I could not be more happy.
I love it.
I was like, yes.
Good for you. Good for you, girl.
God. Right? So I'm like, okay, we got two more guards to go through, but we at least killed Otto. That's all I care.
That's all that matters.
So she's like, she finds a way, I guess, in that moment to get over the pain and have this magical dagger now linked to her. And she's like, okay, I got this dagger. And she turns to the other guards and we're like, oh God, this is not looking good. Evie doesn't know how to fight. So another third guard runs up on a horse. Okay. She's like, what the hell's happening? He kills the other two guards, looks at her, mounts his horse, and leaves. And she's leaves. What the fuck was that? I was like, what the fuck was that? Who
is that?
We don't know. Okay? We don't know. He just helped her and left. We'll take our wins when we can. Okay? After all that, Evie's like, hey, we got to get the villain back. Right? So she's like, I'm going to she hangs Otto's head in the entryway.
From the rafters.
Yes.
In
the entryway. And she vows to get the villain back, even if she has to become one herself.
Yes.
And that's how the book ends, on the cliffhanger.
End scene.
End
End
scene.
scene. I
The
literally,
villain is gone. Evie now
Yep.
has a magical dagger, and she's
Yep.
gonna get the villain back somehow.
yep. Literally, when I read this, I thought it was a one-off. I thought that this was just a fun because it was right after my first read of ACOTAR, and I needed something fun and whimsical
Yeah.
and fantasy, but not too much. And
Yeah.
Nikki was like, Justine, read this book. And I was like, huh? And she was like, no, I think that you'll really like it. I think you'll like it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's cute. It's not too big, like compared to ACOTAR. Let's do it. And then I got to that last page and I immediately texted her and I was like, I hate you so fucking much. I thought that this was a one-off.
To be fair, I said it was fun and whimsical, and it is. I said you would like it, and you do. I never
And
said
I love it.
standalone.
I remember being like, here-ish with like only this much to go. And I was like, how is this gonna wrap itself up in the next like 10 pages? It doesn't. It doesn't wrap itself up in the next 10 pages. That's how it goes.
I love
But
how I didn't tell you it was an unfinished series, too.
you did not. You did not. I was like, I need a break from big series and crazy amounts of fantasy. And you were like, hey, I suffered, so why don't you?
To be fair, at the time, I thought it was going to be
like a duology.
Yeah, a duology, where there was only
Yeah.
going to be 2, not 5.
Not
So,
5.
my bad, but also not my bad.
I thought 4.
I think it's 4 or 5. I'm not
I
entirely
think
sure.
it's 4. I think the book that's coming out this August is
The last?
the last one. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't
I think
sure.
so.
Anyway,
We
Back to
love this book.
yes. Some points I have to wrap up this whole book, okay?
To wrap it up.
He is constantly trying to distance himself. He
Yeah.
struggles to do so. I love it so
Clearly.
much.
Mhm.
He has killed somebody because they have spoken poorly of Evie.
Mhm.
Okay. He doesn't know how to hug, but he allows Evie to hug him.
Mhm.
He enjoys it.
Mhm.
The ripping the hinges off the door when he thought she was being tortured will always be one of my favorites.
Even
If he knows that he's in love with her and vows to protect her by not being with her. We also find out that this is actually a big one. We also find out that Kingsley isn't just a magical frog. He was a
Yeah.
prince at one point.
He was a prince. Yeah.
Yes, and it was actually Tristan's friend.
My little prince.
So he isn't just a magical frog they put a crown on. He was
Yeah.
actual a prince in
Mhm.
Renagon. So I don't know how that's going to play into this, but he was a prince at one point.
I mean, we know how. We're just not going to tell you how.
And I will say the best part and the most sad part again was probably Tristan just on his knees begging to let
Yeah.
Evie go. Because you know he's a man in love at that point, for sure.
It's 100%. I'm obsessed with this book.
Oh, 100, yes. And
I
that's
think
why I think that when I got the next book, I was just like, read.
constant.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all of the 3 books that we have so far. I have read so fast, and none of them have disappointed at all. They are a slow burn, and like if you have not read this yet and you plan to read it and you don't care about spoilers, it is a slow burn.
Yes. The tension and banter is the best part.
Is so good. It is so good. And I was a big fan of Castle when I was younger, the TV show Castle. Love
The
no
TV
freaking way. I didn't
the
know
murder
you love
mystery,
that.
the murder free one.
Oh my god, yes, we're gonna have to talk about that another time because I'm obsessed.
It's Castle.
this-
What was her name? Bennett or something?
Beckett.
Beckett. That was such a good slow burn.
I have the biggest crush on Stana Katic. It's not even funny. But it was the best slow burn. And I think that this compares to that slow burn. Because, like, when and if they ever get to that point, it's going to be like, we're going to just be like dancing. Like, it's going to be so exciting because it's going to be like, like it's gonna be just so amazing. So I'm obsessed with this series. I think it's so good. I think Hannah's amazing at writing this. Our next episode on the 26th of June, is going to be starting the second book, and that is Apprentice to the Villain, number 2. So make sure you tune in. We're breaking that up into 3 parts. It's a little bigger. There's a little bit more content in it. So the next 2 books we're breaking into 2 parts. And then we have a special surprise because we're going to be going live to discuss the first 10 chapters of the brand new book when it comes out in August. So we're going to lead you right up.
I'm so excited for
to it. I'm so pumped. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, it's all I got. I love this series.
Yes.
Rereading it again.
Join into the cult that we have going here.
If you haven't read it, read it now. Get yourself caught up before August. It's going to be so amazing. And we're so glad to have you here. We're about to start Apprentice to the Villain. So come join us next Friday. Hang out with us. It'll be fun. At least we think it's going to be fun.
We got to find out what happens now.
It ends on a huge cliffhanger, but we'll see you guys all next week. Bye, everyone.